Hi and welcome to Aussie Kicks. On today's show, well, we're going to be looking at a brand new product from ROCHobby, and it's this little fella, a 1/18 scale Mog. Look at it, it's so tiny with the little lights. Loads of detail, so let's crack it open and see what you get for your money.
That was a bit random.
So I've had quite a few products from ROCHobby, and now we have this little fella. Now, one thing that I'm not too sure about is, are they trying to produce models that you can also drive, or is it an RC that's just highly detailed? I honestly don't know. They just seem to be pushing more and more. I mean, it's a hard body, but I think they're kind of aiming for people that want to take something like this and then can add more to it themselves. As in, if you airbrush this up and added a bit of weathering, and then you maybe did a little bit of rust and stuff like that, these are going to be amazing. You could easily turn this into a full-blown model. I mean, with the interior that they've given you, you've got a dash, you've got dials, steering wheel, seats. The doors don't open, but still you get door handles now. I mean, the door handles are separate pieces that are added, and there's a button and a handle. So if you've got enough detail, you could go in and polish those up and make, you know, put some wear on them and all kinds of things. Also, They've left it so you can add more, like these lights at the top here. They have pass-throughs on the inside, but there's nothing in them, so you could add lights to these. Also, there's these two little spots on the front where they've actually left the holes so you can put lights in as well. The front lights do light up, and you can do sort of low and high, as well as the back do as well, I think only on braking. But it's like they've kind of left it a bit open so you can put more lighting in yourself, as well as adding more detail. And another thing that makes me feel that way is that they've actually made the back that drops down, so it is a proper bed, so you can actually stack it up with scale stuff. So you could have boxes, barrels, and all kinds of things in here, as well as you could weather this down, because it's actually got a wood texture to it, so you would actually stain that or paint it and actually turn it into wood. So there's a lot more you can do with these little things. So I'm really impressed. It's nice to see companies that are continually trying to improve their products and produce better and better detail and quality. Now, it has got friction shocks. It's not oil, mainly because it's so tiny. Whether you could actually get 1/18 scale oil shocks, I honestly don't know. It's not portal axles or anything like that. I fired it up and it's pretty smooth is the way to look at it. The modulation that it's actually putting out was better than I'm pretty sure I've seen on a lot of these. So from a precision point of view, and if you want to do some indoor scale crawling or you want to do some outside, I think this could be a good way to go, even though it would be nice if it was waterproof. Hold on the box, it doesn't actually say anything about being waterproof, but I was watching Tom Lee RC's video on this vehicle, and he took it to what looked like an open drain. Yeah, I hope he's had enough injections to cover that. Anyway, he drove it pretty much completely underwater, and it kept going. So at the end of this video, I'm going to dunk mine in water completely and see what happens, whether he got lucky or whether, yes, actually it's waterproof. So one thing I wanted to do was deep dive a little bit more into the Driveline. Must admit, these tyres are very pretty, lovely, and they are hex. So you do get little hex and little pins to do. Now, I dived into the back diff, and as you can see, it was great. It's got lots of what looks like marine grease. These are bushes from what I can see. I took a photograph because they're so small, it's very difficult for me to actually check, but I'm pretty sure they're bushes. But having a nice big dollop of marine grease is going to keep it nice and smooth. And obviously they are metal gears in there as well. It is 1/18 scale. We are getting pretty small, so it's not one you'd want to be dismantling that often, but you can do it. as you can see. Now, being a ready to run, you still get your box for storage, then you get a manual, you get a little tiny LiPo battery, USB charger, and you get the transmitter as well, which has all the buttons underneath. No different that we've seen before from them, and it's perfectly acceptable, and it's a reasonable size one. It's not massive. All this will actually store in the box, which is what I really love. If you've got a lot of RCs like me, storage can be a bit of an issue. So putting them all in this box, sealing it up, putting the cover on, and then stacking them is brilliant. So I wish we could see more RC manufacturers doing this, as it can't cost much, but it just makes storage so much better. Right, I think that pretty much covers everything. So let's take it out for a bit of a blast. Now, as I said at the end of the video, we were going to test to find out just how waterproof this is, being that Tom Lee RC seemed to put it underwater quite a lot and it worked fine. So we're going to run an experiment, but we do it so you don't have to, and I'm a trained idiot. And we have all the health and safety requirements to meet the legislations that have been brought out for people to do stupid stuff or something. Right, should we test it out and see how it goes? Right, one truck. And if you wanted to know, yeah, it's totally fine. Go figure.